Hello and welcome to Marks and Parks with Brennan. This week we're in Washington. Let's find something fun. Hey guys! If I sound a little different this week, it's because I lost my two front teeth. I know what I'll be wanting for Christmas. We enjoyed seeing the unique beauty of Canada and we had a wonderful time. But we were pretty excited about reaching the U.S. border and getting back to the country we love. Crossing back into the USA took a little more time than entering Canada. The officer asked us to turn off the vehicle. Then he walked all around it in the camper. He came back and asked my parents some questions. But next, he asked me some questions. That was unexpected. But his questions were about me, so I was able to answer them. A few minutes later, we were on our way to the campground in Blaine, Washington. We stayed at the Birch Bay Resort and enjoyed our stay at the campground. We were only there for a couple of days because we had just planned to rest. About a historic ferry boat ride in Drayton Harbor, so we decided to check it out. The ferry was small and was used in the past to take workers back and forth to a cannery across the harbor. The captain took us over to a dock full of harbor seals. I was really excited to see the seals relaxing in the sun. Some of them were swimming too. We also saw many seagulls and another type of bird that had built nests in the rocks. They were everywhere. We watched the mama birds feeding the babies. Did you know seagull babies are gray? We enjoyed being out on the water. After the ferry boat ride and the smell of the salt water, we decided we wanted seafood for dinner. We found a restaurant with a view of the water. Then we took a walk along the shore. It was so different from walking along the shore of our beaches back home. Instead of sand, there were rocks everywhere. Many people were out enjoying the water. It looked really shallow for a long way out. My parents were wishing they had allowed more time in this area, especially after my mom found out about whale watching trips. We keep discovering so many wonderful ideas for future adventures. Our travel day plan included a stop in Seattle to check out Pike Place Market. We tried to include this, but getting around Seattle with our camper attached turned out to be a disaster. It was just too stressful for my parents. We decided Seattle would be an adventure for another day. We did drive by the Space Needle though. I think that would be interesting to see. The next campground was in Silver Creek, Washington. My parents have a membership with Dawson Trails, so they look for these campgrounds as we travel. This one is called Paradise. There is a beautiful view coming into the park, and our camper is surrounded by gigantic trees. It was really pretty in there. We sent my Uncle Danny a picture to find out about these trees. He thinks they are a type of spruce. My dad did some research and suspects they might be Sitka spruce trees, but we aren't sure. We just know they're very big. Our goal for this campground was to explore nearby Mount Rainier. Coincidentally, Mount Rainier is our nation's 5th national park, and it was the 5th national park we visited. The mountain is the tallest in the Cascade Mountain Range at 14,410 feet. And it's an active volcano that is considered one of our nation's most dangerous. However, its last eruption was 1,000 years ago. I learned from a video presentation that the lahars pose the most danger. I had never heard of lahars, but I learned that they are mud flows made of slurry, rocky debris, and water, kind of like flowing concrete. They happen when snow and ice melt quickly and flow rapidly. They can reach much farther than a lava flow, so they put many more people in danger. Even though it's a volcano, Mount Rainier has 25 major glaciers that create the very beautiful look of a snow-capped mountain. It doesn't look like it could be a dangerous volcano. There was lush green vegetation and vibrant colors everywhere. There were also many very large trees around. Of course, we made our way to the visitor center to pick up my Junior Ranger packet. The Longmire Visitor Center was out of packets, so they sent us over to the Longmire Museum. We enjoyed looking at the exhibits in there. Then we headed up toward the area called Paradise, because my mom wanted to see many wildflowers. We stopped at Narada Falls for a quick hike. Those are our favorite kind. I thought it was so cool that there were rainbows at the bottom of the falls. It was really pretty. Made it to the Paradise area where we ate a picnic lunch and set out to explore. Unfortunately, the big bloom in the meadow was still about 10 days away. But we did see wildflowers all along the roadside and beside the walkways. We've discovered that this time of year is very busy at our national parks. It was quite a hike from where we had to park to reach the visitor center of Paradise. I stamped my passport book, we watched an informational video, and I took the Junior Ranger pledge to receive my badge for Mount Rainier. We also learned about a couple of other places in the park that we should definitely explore. Stop of the day was at the growth of the Patriarchs. This area of the mountain allowed us to see more of the massive trees. Some of these trees are over 1,000 years old. This was a hike that we really enjoyed. It was completely shady, a creek was running along the trail, and it wasn't steep at all. We love these hikes. I talked my family into taking a trail down to the creek. They didn't think we could get down there, but I led the way. It was actually pretty easy. The water was so clear. We watched a bird fluttering around in the water. I'm not sure if it was finding food, drinking water, or taking a bath, but it seemed to really enjoy it. After watching a video at the visitor center, we decided to make our second day of exploring Mount Rainier a visit to the temperate rainforest and the Carbon River on the other side of the mountain. The northwest side of the mountain gets between 70 and 90 inches of rain every year. It looked really different from the meadows in the Paradise area. Instead of wildflowers, there was moss and ferns growing everywhere. My mom had me searching for spores all over the place. She said I would be learning all about how plants reproduce when I get to 3rd grade. In the rainforest, we saw more of the really big trees. There were many that had fallen over and become nurse logs. This means that they have other plants growing from them. Do you know that a temperate rainforest has different layers? In my junior ranger book, I learned that the leaves and branches of those tall trees make the top layer called a canopy. Next is a layer called the understory. It has the smaller trees, shrubs, and plants. Then there's the forest floor, where mosses and other things like stumps, rocks, and fallen trees cover the soil. The layer below the surface of the floor includes the soil, roots, worms, and many tiny creatures. There are many different types of living things here. Mom and I almost stepped on a snake. It was really cool to visit a rainforest. When we left the rainforest, Mom put Seattle into the GPS just to see how far it would be. Dad wasn't excited about driving through there again, but he agreed to make the trip because he knew Mom and I wanted to see it. It was exciting to see the skyscrapers as we got close to the city. When we made it near the market, there were people everywhere. In the streets, on the sidewalks, I mean everywhere. Dad and I took our picture with Rachel, the famous pig at the market. She's a piggy bank that is supposed to bring good luck if you rub her sound. We watched the fish being thrown at the fish market, saw all the beautiful flowers for sale, and walked the marketplace. A restaurant that sells Russian pastries. They were really good, by the way. After walking around for a little while and taking in the sights, we decided to head back to the campground. We were tired, and it would take a couple of hours to drive back. That successfully got us out of the Seattle traffic and back to the camper. This was a wrap for us in the state of Washington. We had a great time. Thanks for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed the visit to Washington. If you haven't already, please click the subscribe button and then the notifications bell. I'll see you in Oregon.